What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing.
The WNBA's most decorated voices just did a 180, publicly praising Caitlin Clark after months of shade, side-eye, and she'll learn warnings. Call it admiration, call it damage control, call it both.
And that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional.
What's undeniable is the timing. Clark's rookie season didn't just land, it detonated. Arenas filled, TV numbers spiked, and a brand new audience plugged into women's hoops like never before. Losing that momentum would be catastrophic for the league.
Time for people to want to be a part of it and to see it. I think it does take star power, and we're seeing how the value of that in.
And everyone knows it. So when MVPs start lining up to applaud, that's not random. That's the gravity of a superstar forcing the room to face the future. Let's address the obvious question first. Why the sudden love from legends who once downplayed her? Because Clark made the debate irrelevant. By most counts, she shattered dozens of marks, rewrote what a rookie can be, drove league-wide sellouts, and drew a flood of new fans who follow her like a traveling home crowd. She was voted Rookie of the Year, landed a spot among the league's elite, and topped Rookie All-Star voting. The resume isn't hype, it's the scoreboard. And scoreboards change minds. Clark didn't just translate from college, she recentered the conversation. Those deep threes that warp a defense the moment she crosses midcourt, they still land. The hit-ahead dimes in transition, still there. The pace control, the screens she rejects, the pocket passes she fires through tight windows, those play anywhere. And as she kept stacking performances, something flipped.
Absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her.
The reality is coming energy gave way to, we're watching something we need to build around. Which brings us to the MVP chorus. Candace Parker, two-time MVP, two-time champ, was among the first to frame Clark's impact with the right language, showmanship, and gravity. Parker didn't just say Clark was good. She compared the way Clark pulls attention to Stephen Curry. That's not aesthetic praise, it's tactical reality. The second Clark steps on the floor, spacing changes, help defenders cheat 2 steps further out, and off-ball cutters live better lives.
A great player, and I think the way that she's kind of came into this league, she's continuing to hold her own and show every.
Parker also pointed to something coaches obsess over. Clark doesn't just entertain, she creates rivalries that raise the competitive temperature of the whole league. People buy tickets for storylines as much as shot charts, and Clark delivers both. Breanna Stewart, two-time MVP, multi-time champ, took it from the court to the ecosystem. She credited Clark's competitiveness for raising standards among teammates and opponents.
I thought that they were professional, like as anyone at this level would be. I'm always impressed by the two of them. I think it was also really fun to see them playing together tonight. They had some synergy and the maturity that they have going in, not even just.
Translation, you can't play casual when Clark's in the building. Stewart highlighted how Clark extends the floor, sees the second defender before the first arrives, and keeps unlocking teammates with reads that punish late rotations. Then she said the quiet thing out loud. Buzz matters. Attendance, viewership, day-to-day excitement. Clark's debut didn't just help, it surged the whole graph.
Caitlin Clark on Team USA, absolutely. Any USA basketball experience for someone as young as Caitlin Clark is going to benefit America for years and years and years and years. So, yeah, I would put her absolutely on.
What about players that change the game when they're on the court, whether they're touching the ball or not? You have to guard her when she steps into the gym. And so I don't think we've seen anything like that in women's basketball. I've played against a number of great shooters.
Yes.
Tina Charles, former MVP, 14-year vet, called it the Caitlin Clark effect and thanked her for widening the league's reach. That's not empty celebrity talk.
Somebody that when they walk in the gym, you have to guard them. And I think the way the game is played has allowed her to showcase that skill, to be able to take that shot being a good shot.
Charles has lived the grind eras and the growth eras. When she says the spotlight looks different, it's because she's comparing the actual weight of attention from year to year. She also noted what opponents have learned firsthand. The scout can't keep up with the speed at which Clark adds counters. You take away the pull-up, she lasers you with hit-ahead passes. You trap higher, she manipulates the screen and makes your big defend in space. You switch smaller, she goes through bodies and draws fouls. Every adjustment costs you something. Nneka Ogwumike, MVP, perennial All-Star, saw it up close during All-Star Weekend, where chemistry is usually vibes only. Instead, Clark slotted into star lineups like she'd been there for years. Ball finds energy, energy finds the extra pass, and suddenly you're playing advantage basketball on every other possession. Ogwumike praised her poise and fit, two qualities that separate highlights from habits. Rookies can go viral, leaders bend possessions. Clark does the latter. Then there's Maya Moore, whose mere name carries a cultural weight beyond the box score. Clark grew up idolizing Moore, studied her leadership, and even mirrored her balance of edge and grace. When Moore publicly praised Clark's unselfishness, IQ, and presence before Clark's final college game, it wasn't a courtesy wave. It felt like a ceremonial handoff. The message was unmistakable. Carry this well. Cynthia Cooper didn't hedge either. A foundational MVP in the league's earliest years, Cooper described Clark's impact as critical. Not promising, not impressive. Critical. That word belongs to system-level catalysts. Players who don't just excel within a league, but expand its borders, alter its audience, and reprice its prime time. Lisa Leslie's arc tells you how fast undeniable becomes unavoidable. Early on, she floated the idea of a split Rookie of the Year with Angel Reese, an attempt to recognize two breakout storylines. Then Clark kept stacking signature nights, record chases, and fourth-quarter takeovers that felt like appointment television. Leslie's tune shifted. She began openly praising Clark's control of pace and the way her college dominance translated into pro pressure. When Hall of Fame bigs who've seen everything change their stance in public, that isn't clout chasing, it's clarity. And yes, Diana Taurasi's "Reality is Coming" clip will live forever. But so will her pivot. After seeing Clark absorb contact, keep getting up, and weaponize the game's smallest windows, an extra dribble, an angle, a seam, Taurasi moved from skeptic to admirer. She called the debut extraordinary, because it was. Being wrong loudly and then correcting loudly is a kind of respect too. It says, you proved it. Aja Wilson, to her credit, clocked it early. Before the rookie season even started, she said Clark's game would translate and that she's someone you could build a roster around. That's a franchise player endorsement, stamped by a 3-time MVP and 2-time champion who understands how winning cultures get made. Wilson didn't need a season's worth of evidence. She saw the ceiling and said, invest now. Strip away the names and it becomes simple. Gravity, pace, vision, and audacity travel. The shot profile travels. The leadership travels. The willingness to take the hardest shot after the hardest hit travels. That's why coaches adjust, veterans tip their caps, and rivals keep reloading. The league doesn't just need stars, it needs protagonists. Clark gives opponents something to solve and fans something to follow. But here's where the story expands beyond a single rookie resume. Clark's cultural footprint changed behavior. Road games felt like home dates. People who'd never watched a regular season WNBA game started planning watch parties. Kids mimic the logo threes, parents follow the schedule. When media rights, merch, and gate revenue all tilt up at once, that's not luck. That's a catalyst. And the league has leaned into it as it should. The goal isn't to protect a single star, it's to turn the spark into a sustained burn across markets, franchises, and rivalries. Along the way, Clark absorbed everything the game can throw at a newcomer. Physicality at the point of attack, bigger bodies funneling her into help, traps extending 30 feet out, and the social media microscope turned up to blistering levels. She adjusted. The shot selection tightened, the turnovers trended down, the timing sped up, the reads got a half second earlier. That isn't hype, that's development in public. The flip side of adoration is expectation, and Clark carried that too. Being a rookie and a ratings engine at the same time is not normal. Most players get to learn quietly. Clark learned with 15,000 people in the building and millions watching at home. You don't survive that without an internal metronome that never panics. You also don't survive it without teammates buying in. And that part matters. Veterans noticed that her attention didn't turn selfish, it turned connective. Screens got set harder because the ball will come back. Shooters spaced with more conviction because kickouts arrive on time and on target. Bigs ran because early seals get rewarded. That's how you turn gravity into culture. So yes, the praise came late from some corners, but the most honest readings now are the most valuable because they confirm what the numbers and eyeballs already said. Clark isn't a storyline, she's a standard. Parker framed it. Stewart expanded it. Charles named it. Ogwumike validated the fit. Moore blessed the torch. Cooper emphasized the stakes. Leslie acknowledged the obvious. Taurasi recalibrated. Wilson forecasted. 10 MVPs, 1 rookie, and a league taking the hint. And there's a broader calculation humming under all of this. Europe offers money, minutes, and space to experiment. It always has. The WNBA's job is to make staying the easy choice, not the noble one. That means pace of play that rewards skill, scheduling that amplifies stars, infrastructure that sustains momentum, and marketing that leans into rivalries instead of sanding them down. The league doesn't have to protect Clark from competition. It has to surround her with it, because iron sharpens iron, and dynasties need worthy foils. If you zoom out on year 1, the through line is simple. Caitlin Clark arrived with the biggest target the league has seen and still managed to widen the map. More fans, more markets, more moments. She broke records, by most counts over 60, took home Rookie of the Year, topped Rookie All-Star voting, and delivered signature games that felt like cultural events, not just wins. She didn't just meet pressure, she metabolized it. The game bent. The conversation followed. So is the MVP praise genuine or self-preserving? Probably both. But it doesn't really matter which door they walked through. What matters is that they're in the room now, saying what needed saying. The future is here, and the smart move is to build with it, not against it. Clark's not merely thriving in the league, she's transforming it. Attendance is up. Viewership is up. Young players are copying footwork, not just highlights. And veterans, after years of carrying the flame, are pointing to the torch in her hands and saying, run. That's the arc of every healthy sport, from icon to air to ecosystem. Caitlin Clark compressed that timeline. She dragged skeptics into honesty, pulled neutrals into fandom, and gave believers a megaphone. The late compliments don't cheapen the truth, they underline it. When greatness keeps standing there, eventually everyone has to adjust.